Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I prepared Cowboy Caviar. It's perfect for those garden veggies. And I joined Bob and Travis as they snuff out yellow jackets and wasps. But first, it's a Canfield Fair favorite, the Demolition Derby. Every year, one of the most popular events at the grandstand is the Demolition Derby. And it's really all for bragging rights, $500-$600 pot. But I'll tell you, these guys are passionate. And every year I attend, and I just love watching the rock'em sock'em with the cars. It's fascinating. These guys love doing it, and they work the circuit, a lot of them, and go to the different county fairs. Well, I sponsored a car this year, Todd Hartman, the number 10, and hopefully we'll see if we make it through the first round and win this thing. Well, the first Demolition Derby that'll take place will be the youth division. Now, I can't believe this, but the youth division is 12 to 15-year-olds. And I guess since you're not on the road, you don't have to have a driver's license.
No, not at all.
And Dylan, who is the nephew of the guy driving my car, well, he is in the youth division. So this is the last year for you because you're 15 now.
Yep.
And is this, how many times have you done the youth division?
First time, first year.
And what made you want to enter this year?
Uncle Todd told me about it and just decided, well, you know what? I'd have a blast doing it. So we're out here and...
So what kind of preparation do you have to do with this car? You know, I mean, like, tell me, you have to take the glass out?
All the glass has to come out, most of the interior, only the front two seats stay in. All the carpet, everything comes out, you know.
What kind of car is? Oh, this was a Cavalier. And where did you get it?
Up in Brookfield, about half an hour away.
Can I ask how much your ride cost?
$250.
Matthew here has the Green Bay Packers car. Obviously, Packers fan?
Yeah.
Is this your first Demolition Derby?
Yeah.
And why this year? What made you enter?
Try it out and see how I like it.
And what kind of ride is this?
Pontiac Grand Prix.
Andrew Smeltzer, this is not your first rodeo. No. Okay. You've been in this for, you said, 20 years.
Yep.
Now, have you won?
Yeah, a couple of them I did.
Now, what is the secret to, being the last man standing?
Just got to go out there and try to keep your car for the feature, that's all.
And on this ride, I think this is a good one, too, because you got a lot of metal around you. I mean, it protects you. What cars do you think are best for this? Buick, Chevys, which one?
I used to run the 73, 74 Chevys. And this is the first year I'm running a Buick front-wheel drive.
And what are you thinking?
I don't know. It's going to be a good one.
And who helped you decorate? I like the Simpsons. I like...
and all the girls that painted it in.
So, girls, you did all the painting on this. Good job. Andrew Smeltzer Jr. This is the son of Andrew, who I just spoke to. Now, you won this last year.
Yes, I did.
And what's the secret?
There really ain't no secret. Try to survive, but you got to do damage and take out other cars at the same time.
Now, what is the prize when you win this?
This one, I think, is like $600 and a trophy.
Oh, that's pretty good. Now, you put together that car. The 18 car is the one you won in last year.
16, yeah.
Or 16 car.
Mm-hmm.
And this is number
one. This is a Cavalier station wagon.
Why a station wagon?
This is what I come across this year, and it was pretty solid, so I'm going to run it.
Well, you've really hit the big time when you have like a racing team.
Yeah.
Team Malone. Todd Hartman's my driver, man. We started this a couple years ago. We sponsored it, and you did really good. You were what? I think you were like third or fourth.
I won my first heat, but I didn't do too well in the feature. But it was positive for the first time.
It was really fun, and then you said you wanted to do it again this year. Why do you want to do this?
It's just the adrenaline rush. I turned 55, and it makes you feel like you're alive, at least for now. And then my nephew heard about that they're having the youth And so he was all excited. So I had to come out and support him, and we had fun together building the cars. So, it's a family thing, and it's great.
I know we talked to Dylan earlier. Now, where did you, once they did the Cash for Clunkers, that really took a lot of these good vehicles off the road, huh?
It did. It's hard to find a vehicle. And I try to find a better vehicle, but they're few and far between, and, it can get expensive. And, some of the big guys that do it all the time, they dump lots of money in their cars.
Jennifer is sitting right behind us and is really an authority on this stuff. This is not the first time you come to these Demolition Derbies.
No. We've been doing it for years and years and years and years.
And how, why are you so into it?
Oh my gosh, there's so much talent involved, just between the painting of the cars, showing spirit, and the driving of the cars, what they have to do to put the cars together just to get them here.
All right, my little seatmate here, Mary Giovanna, your first Demolition Derby. What do you think?
I'm really excited, and my favorite part about this is when they crash, but it's kind of dangerous.
It is, but you really like some of the cartoon characters that they paint on the car. And you know what's really cute is whenever there's a Stars and Stripes car, an American car, you always cheer really well.
Yeah, because I like to cheer for country things.
All right, so she's patriotic too. This will be fun. My car's coming up. We got to cheer for it.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Well, we are here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, and I am with Rude the Dude. And let me tell you, there is no place I'd rather be than this patio. It is beautiful. Sunday Fun Day is every day.
Well, yeah, Casey, winter's almost over, so the patio season is coming. We have one of the biggest patios in Boardman. Every Saturday, live entertainment. Other special events that we do, we have a car cruise every Wednesday, taking up the whole lot. It's a great event, a lot of beautiful cars. Our farm-to-table menu, we still support local ingredients, local products, meat and cheese local. We also have our happy hour, Monday through Friday, half off all 41 craft beers on tap.
And a lot of local
beers
and
tons
there
of local
too.
beer, tons of local beers. But it's just a great time to come out and enjoy Magic Tree.
The living is easy at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service, independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life. Trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Woolley Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Woolley Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
Today I'm going to prepare for you one of my new favorite party foods. Always love to see the 7-layer dip when I go to a party. Love the buffalo chicken dip. And my neighbor, Carrie Watson, showed up at my house with Cowboy Caviar. It was so good. I went online, I tried to figure out the very best recipe because of course there's different ingredients depending on what your likes and dislikes are, but it is easy to assemble. It is loaded with flavor. It's pretty low cal and it's really easy to make. The only issue is you're going to do a lot of chopping of fresh vegetables, but it is so delicious and it's really versatile. It could be a dip or you could add it to tacos. You could make a salad with it. It's really, really good. So we're gonna make Cowboy Caviar and I'll be right back with the ingredients. For this recipe, you'll need one 15-ounce can of black beans and black-eyed peas, rinsed and drained, 1 cup of tomatoes, diced, 1 jalapeno pepper, seeded and diced, 1 cup of fresh corn. That's about 2 ears, or you could use canned or frozen. 1 avocado chopped, 1 cup of red and or green bell peppers, seeded and diced, 1/2 cup of red onion diced, 1 bunch of cilantro leaves chopped, and 4 ounces of queso fresco cheese crumbled. I know this recipe has a little more ingredients than I usually do, but I just love this dish and it lasts a few days in your refrigerator. So all we're gonna do is assemble it now. This is 1 can drained of the black beans and these are the black-eyed peas. So we'll dump that into the bowl. And then the pepper, I use both. This is a medium-sized red bell pepper. And this is the green. I mean, this is so pretty. And then the corn. It is corn season, so I used 2 ears and cut that off. You can use frozen, and in a pinch, if you need to, just use canned corn. And then the red onion, you can soak this in water if you find it has too much of a bite. Or, you know, I was thinking, I haven't tried it, but I bet you the green onion and a little bit of the stem would be good in this too. And then I have the tomatoes. And what I did was quarter cherry tomatoes for that. And the jalapeno. This was a larger jalapeno. You could also leave that out if you don't like the heat. And then we have the cilantro. Love cilantro. Some people don't, they think it's soapy tasting. If you don't like it, leave it out or use parsley. All right, so we have all of these ingredients in here. And what we're gonna do is just mix this up. Look at that now. Isn't that pretty? And it smells so good. And there's a lot of it. Now I'm gonna set this aside and then what I'm gonna do is assemble the dressing. But I want to remind you, if you are cooking this or preparing this in advance, I would add the queso cheese at the very end and the avocado because you know avocados tend to brown. So make sure you add that dice the very last thing and mix it up and the queso. But you can go as far as the dressing and all those other ingredients if you want to prepare that the night before because the flavors really do blend together well. And let's assemble the dressing. For the dressing, you'll need 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1/2 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and salt and pepper to taste. Now this is really easy. We're going to start with the olive oil. Now there's a lot of ingredients in here too. If you don't like some of them, feel free to leave them out. The cumin, I like heat, so I am adding chili powder and I am adding cayenne. And then just to thicken it up, and it kind of takes a little bit of the heat off, is the honey. I've never really used honey in my dressings, but I think you're gonna like it in here. And then a little red wine vinegar, and then some fresh squeezed lime juice, and garlic powder. Last but not least. All right, so we put that in, and then we just give this a good beating. You're really gonna like this. Now, I really like avocado. You could add a few if you want, but this one came out pretty good. So I am just dicing it. And you want to keep everything at about a 1/2 inch dice. And look at that. I just love avocado. And this really adds a nice smoothness to the dish. All right, so now the avocado's in. Here's what we're gonna do now. Add the dressing. And just mix that up and make sure everything is blended together. The smells, the textures, the flavors. I am telling you, you're gonna love this. All right, so now that that's there, you know, the queso is really flaky. So they come in wheels, about 8-ounce wheels. So I'm using about a 1/2 wheel in here. And then you just grind it up with your hands and make sure it crumbles nicely. The texture of this isn't quite feta-like. It's a little more pliable, but it has such a nice flavor to it, and it just adds another dimension to this dish. This is amazing. And this is a fresh one. Wait till you taste it after a few hours in your fridge. Oh, it is so good. I just love it. And it's really good, of course, with, you know, tortilla chips. But if you put this in a taco and then put some chicken over it, or ground beef, or the carne asada, and then on a salad, a bed of lettuce, I mean, this really is a versatile topping for a lot of things. And of course, a margarita would be good, but I found a really nice crisp wine. And this is Fun Blanc from Ferrari Carano. And it says it's a Sauvignon Blanc too, but it's really not. It doesn't have that heavy grapefruit taste. It's just really light, refreshing, nice palate cleanser. So, caviar, what do you think of that? Cowboy Caviar. Go to my website, caseymalonshow.com, and you'll get the recipe for this and the dressing. And remember, it's versatile. What you don't like, take out, and if you think I missed something, add it to that. And you are going to love it. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I am blessed with a wonderful husband. He's stuck with me through thick and thin, and he's a fantastic father. So when he needed long-term care, not just any place would do, we did our research. Everyone said, trust the name you know, Briarfield. With all those locations, there's always one close. That made it easy for me and the kids to visit more often, Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Selling engagement rings never gets old. It's love.
It's a huge undertaking because they're going to wear that ring probably forever, but if they're not going to wear it forever, they're going to pass it down to somebody.
Our rings will hold a lifetime, and we want to make sure it does. We stand by every single thing that we sell. I believe I can find the perfect ring. I really try to get them exactly what she would want.
And to just be a little part of that is really, it warms your heart inside.
Get real, get Kamara.
Well, in the late summer and the early part of the fall is when you really start seeing bee infestations. And I've known Bob the Bee Man since my radio days when you would come on with the Friendly Trapper and we would teach everybody about handling bees and the good bees and the bad bees. Well, I had a bee issue, crevice in my house, and Bob the Bee Man took good care of me. So now we're tailing him. And this is really your busy time of year, August and September, huh?
Right, because all your yellow jackets are up to full strength right now. And if you have a yellow jacket nest around, August and September is when you're going to find them, because they go kind of into like a frenzy to get ready for winter, okay? Because they die out. Actually, they starve out, and it's usually like late November. They'll actually starve out because once it drops below 50 degrees, they can't fly, so they can't go out and get any food, and they can't store enough food to survive. So that's why they go into this frenzy right now.
And like I had yellow jackets. And those are not good bees, correct? Those are not the pollinators.
No, they're not the pollinators, and whereas the honeybees are. And a lot of people are confused about that. Actually, you mentioned good bees, bad bees. Your yellow jackets are about the worst bee that you can have around, because they don't only sting, they do a lot of damage, because as you'll see shortly, they actually eat through drywall to get into living areas and so forth.
And then what do you do when it's a honeybee? Do honeybees cause that kind of damage? I mean, you remove those and try to preserve them, right?
Exactly, yeah. Honeybees, they don't have a jaw, so they can't eat through anything. They actually have a snout, okay, where they can get their nectar, okay? So they actually can't chew anything, whereas yellow jackets actually have a jaw and they can bite. And so they'll actually eat through drywall to expand their nest this time of the year.
Travis is Bob's grandson, and you have joined the family business.
I joined about 12 years ago. I've been with him for quite a while.
How much have you learned from your grandpa? I mean, that's really cool.
Well, I mean, he's forgotten more than I know, but I think I'd like to think I've learned a little bit.
And he was with them when they fixed my house last week. Now, right here is a hole on the side of this house, and this was probably what, from cable or some kind of satellite setup or something like that?
Yeah, the homeowner, the previous homeowner had a satellite that they ran a cable through there, and when they pulled the cable out, they neglected to plug that hole back in. So yellow jackets always build within 3 feet of their nest. They do always build above the nest. So when they're behind a wall, you have to use a powder on them. So since these aren't honeybees, we aren't worried about saving them. If these were honeybees, I would be saving them. But since they're yellow jackets, we're going to exterminate them.
And I know he's got it into the nest. Like I said, we got all these snow bees coming out. And we got other ones. We got other ones that are trying to go back in there.
All right, our next house is a nest of bald-faced hornets. And unfortunately, Angela, this is your situation, huh?
Yes, unfortunately.
How long has that been growing?
It seems though it's been growing over the summer. So, I mean, we didn't really notice it till about a month ago. And then, unfortunately, my mom was stung.
Even Bob is wearing the safety net. And you were just telling me that the hornets actually do eat a lot of the mosquitoes and the bugs we don't like.
Right. Actually, they're beneficial, except if they're too close to the ground. Because if they're high in a tree, I'm going to say like 25 feet or higher, they're good to have there because they eat mosquitoes and other insects. In fact, they even eat yellow jackets.
And actually you can see it if you get a close-up. You can see where they're expanding out on the outside down towards the bottom there. You can see that where it's kind of stepped out a little bit. That's a new layer of paper that they're putting on there.
See, I was getting the hornets off of me. I saw the yellow jacket get that.
Oh my gosh, so it's a 2-for-1. Angela, we're here on the right day. Okay, so now, do you just shoot that with powder? And that's it?
Yep.
How many do you think will be down there?
This looks like a little bit of a smaller nest, so I'd say 500 to 1,000.
In under 10 minutes, a nest in the ground, and then the nest by that light is gone. Right. Don't you feel so much better?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Especially for my mom, because I think she's more susceptible to getting stung than I am, so.
And now are you going to start walking the yard and looking for little holes in it?
It does make me paranoid, yeah, definitely. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we live out in basically the country, so.
Well, Travis, that was awesome. And you, man, you just got in there with that scraper and you got that nest right out of there.
I suppose I was probably nervous for the first 500 of these that I've done, but you get used to it after a while.
So, and then you are a beekeeper, right?
Yes, I am a beekeeper. In fact, I was at the fair for 2 days, and I raise bees. I render the honey, and I sell honey at a store in Austintown. But can I say one other thing? So many people will get a can of hornet and wasp spray, and that's the worst thing you can do because that actually traps them into your wall, and they'll go into your living area. Okay.
If don't mess with it, call the professional. Let Bob and Travis do it. And I thank you guys. This has really been informational.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Casey.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.